Hi all, it's Celthyn here. Yeah, just gonna be doing a little, yeah, relatively short video on, I guess, the value of doing things, like, by halves, or, like, sometimes you don't have to do things to the fullest degree, with full effort, right? Like, I know you've probably heard the whole adage of anything worth doing is worth doing right. That's a thing you will have heard, and might even be a thing that makes sense to you. But, like, it's so not true. Like, that's such an absurd line, right? That's not how that works at all. I mean, okay, that's not entirely untrue. There are circumstances where that is the case, but those circumstances are quite few and far between, really. Like, unless you're actively doing something where taking, where cutting a corner is going to actually put people in danger, right? Like, what's it matter if you cut a corner? That's the thing, is it doesn't, right? It doesn't matter if you cut a corner, so long as, or do things more simply, right? Or take the easy path. None of that matters if you're not putting anyone's lives at risk, right? If you're not putting people in harm's way by doing that, what's it matter? Like, because the thing is, sure, in those circumstances, obviously, right, you want to not cut the corners, because cutting the corners puts people in danger, but the rest of the time, actually, it makes more sense to cut the corners often. Especially if the options facing you are cut the corner or don't do the thing at all, right? Like, it's all well and good being like, oh yeah, no, don't cut corners, or, do things right. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, if you've got the time and the energy available to you to do things right, that's great. But realistically, I mean, I guess I can't speak for certain, but I can't imagine that everyone I know we certainly don't always have the capacity to do things quote unquote properly, right? I know we don't always have the energy available for that. Sometimes the choice is between cutting the corner or not doing a thing. And, like, sometimes you don't have to do the thing, but sometimes doing the thing is worth it anyway. A lot of the time doing the thing is worth it, right? Like, certainly, if you, like, can't clean the entire house or an entire room, well, okay, cool, that doesn't mean it's not worth doing one cleaning thing. Like, okay, I don't have the energy to clean the room entirely, but I might have the energy to, I don't know, clean up my desk, or take the rubbish out, or, wipe down a couple countertops or something, right? There's any number of smaller things that I might be able to do there that were worth doing on their own, even if it's not cleaning the entire room, because now I've got something done. And that's useful and important, right? Anyway, and does mean that later down the line, it will be easier to clean the entire room, right? And, like, another good one is, I don't know, right? Maybe you don't have the energy to cook tonight. Okay, cool. That doesn't mean you shouldn't eat some sort of meal that doesn't mean you shouldn't eat tonight, right? Like, don't have the energy to cook. Okay, well, do you have microwave food ready to go? If not, do you have the energy to go get food, to go buy something from the to throw in the microwave? Do you have bread to make a sandwich? Right? Can you get something delivered? Right? Eat something, even if it's not the ideal, right? Don't have the energy for a proper shower or a proper bath? Well, dry shampoo and a soapy cloth will do what you need, at least in the short term, right? Like, sure, it's not perfect, but it's enough, right? Like, it's something, and what you want is something, rather than nothing. And yeah, dry shampoo and a soapy cloth will do something in that circumstance, right? Much like just eating a slice of bread is more than eating nothing. Like, sure, a single slice of bread isn't much, and it's not necessarily particularly appetizing, but, like, it's still carbohydrates in the body, which will make it easier then when you do come around, when it makes it easier to get to the point where you have the energy to do more. If you are eating, right, if you are washing, if you are doing these things, even if it's by halves, right? It makes the full task less overwhelming and gives you more chance to recover. Like, that's the thing, is especially when it comes to self-care tasks and looking after the body, right? Or even things like going out and being social, or being social online, like, sure, it would be lovely to always be able to do things by full, right? But that's not realistic. Oh, at least it's not realistic for us. It's not realistic for me. I can't imagine that's realistic for everyone watching at least all the time. For anyone watching all the time. Which means that sometimes what you're going to want to do, right, is cut the corners, is do things by halves, right? You can't make it out, right? So, yeah, no, cut the corners, do things by halves. So long as you're, right, that's it, right? It doesn't matter what it is, unless you cutting that corner is putting someone in danger, yourself or someone else, then cut the corner if you need to, right? Every single time. It doesn't matter, right? If the choice is between cutting a corner and not getting the thing done, cut the corner, every time, right? If your choice is do something poorly or don't do it at all, do it poorly, right? Perfection is the enemy of good, and all of this, right? Like, this is even true for creative projects, right? Like, okay, cool, you can't write a perfect, like, sure, this YouTube video is, like, not fully scripted and is going to be a bit messy. But it's only going to exist because I'm willing to cut the corner and go, okay, yeah, it's good enough, right? I'm not going to put this off another week to try and write this better, right? I'm getting this out this week, which means I'm going to take the unfinished script and ramble from there. And this means that, right, we're getting a YouTube video out. And hopefully it's a somewhat useful and good YouTube video, right? And even if not, even if it doesn't help literally anyone else, even if no one else sees it, it will have helped us. It will have helped me, right? Simply by doing this, it is helpful to us because it's meant that, like, I'm doing a thing that's creative and that helps with, like, especially something like that, right? It helps fill so many little things, right? It's so much more fulfilling, right? It is the emotional fulfillment that is needed, right? Like, sure, this isn't perfect, but none of our videos are perfect, right? It might not even be good, but, like, how many of our videos are good? That's not what matters. What matters is getting something creative done and out into the world, right? And hopefully this one is useful, right? Even if it's only useful to, like, one other person. Or even just to other people in our system, right? To have this reminder, that is a good thing. And yeah, so I'm doing things, I'm doing them quickly and simply, right? Because that is what gets things done. I would much rather have something done poorly than not have it done at all. For the vast majority of the time, right? And this is a lesson that has been hard learned, right? It's not easy to remember this, but it is a thing that has been learned because, yeah, right? That's what we've seen time and time again. Is the things that are done, even poorly, are at least done. And that's just not true if you don't do the thing. Right? Sure, we could try and do things better. You know, like, that's a thing we could try and do. Absolutely. Are we going to? No. Right? Oh, maybe, sometimes, right? When we've got spare time and energy, absolutely. We'll try and do things in better ways, but that spare time and energy isn't always available. And to expect it to always be available would be absurd. So no, I'm not going to try and do the thing, like, in some spectacular fashion. I'm just going to get it done at all. Because that's what matters, and it's what helps you recover and rest realistically, right? Like, sure, you don't necessarily need to do all these things for rest and recovery, but, right, doing something creative helps with rest and recovery, right? or doing creative things for yourself often helps with rest and recovery emotionally and mentally. And eating something at all helps with rest and recovery. And, right, even just lying down to try and sleep, even if you fail to sleep, right, helps with rest and recovery. Right? It doesn't matter whether or not you actually get sleep, simply lying down in bed and for a few hours will help you rest and recover. Right? And the same is true of, like, sure, take a full shower or a full bath might help more with rest and recovery, but if you can't do that, because you need that rest and recovery now, do you know what also helps? Being a little bit cleaner. Because you took a cloth and some dry shampoo. You took a soapy cloth and some dry shampoo. Right? That's helped somewhat, and this is true time and time and time again. Right? You want to do the little things that help a little bit because they make it easier to get to doing the bigger things, right? It's easier to rest and recover in a room that's less messy, right? So, yeah, do the things in halves. Do them by small chunks. It will help. It might not feel that way, but it will. So, yeah, that's everything that we've got this week. I don't know. Hopefully, I can get back to doing things more regularly, but I mean, yeah, no promises, I guess. Thanks, anyone who listened, and yeah, I guess leave your own tips on things you can do by halves and how to do them by halves in the comments. This system signing out. Hope to catch you all next week. Please do remember to like, subscribe, comment, especially if you've got any questions you want answered. Be happy to answer them either in the comments or in another video. So, catch you all next week.